I'm Bevan Varland. I'm a chef, artist, and food for me represents laughter, enjoyment and family. Food should be creative, it should be full of heart, it should be punchy with flavour. I want to be able to link people back with their own food connection and help them become better cooks, better growers and enjoy their own food stories. I'm on a mission to show people how local, homegrown and sustainable food can be awesome.
G'day. If there's one thing as a chef that gets me excited, it's the idea of being able to grow and cook the food that you've grown. So there's a real connection and a purpose to it. Generations after generations have planted, nurtured and cooked their own food. So somewhere over the past 2 generations we've seemingly misplaced that food connection. Well, it's our job to get that connection back. So one of the most amazing things in life is growing your own fruit and vegetables. Digging the soil, planting the seeds, watering and watching the food grow is totally awesome. So we're here in Bacchus, Marsh, Australia, a town that sprung up as a direct influence of the Ballarat gold rush of the 1850s and the 60s. Its heritage buildings lead into the world famous Avenue of Honour. As a chef, there is no better place to live. Its natural flora and fauna are mind-blowing and the food is awesome. 2 rivers, the Lurderderg and the Werribee, run through it, creating an immensely fertile valley that produces some of the best food in Australia. It's home to the largest salad producer in the country with over 300 acres of hand-grown and picked gourmet lettuce. Its icy cold winters are perfect for apple growing. From early spring, the place comes alive with blossom as the crop bursts to life. Apples, strawberries, peaches, cherries, caneberries, pears, grapes. I mean, it blows my mind how much there actually is. The surrounding areas are producing award-winning Wagyu beef, lamb, free-range chicken and wild-caught fish, and mind-blowingly good milk.
Up in the hills above Bacchus Marsh lives my mate Ed. He has arguably one of the most picturesque vegetable gardens in the country. He grows his own broccoli, cabbage, beetroot, carrots, capsicums, rocket spinach, beans and fresh herbs. What is amazing about this garden is how well he plans out his growing. It's really quite ingenious. As one plant is ready for harvesting, a smaller plant is already planted to take its place and continue the growing cycle. This means a constant harvest of fresh vegetables and herbs all year round.
We've got our lovely line of leek here, and this is what's really interesting about Ed's garden. He's got the leek here, which we're going to grow up to be up at this size here. As he pulls those out, he just planted these beautiful little bean seedlings along this line here, and that's going to give a beautiful fill when the leek comes out. It's great. So this is rocket, and it's right at a great time in season for it. And you can see in there, that's just flowering. You can actually eat them. And these top leaves here are the sweetest. They're stunning. But we're going to put that in a salad later on. So the really special thing about this garden is the lessons that Ed is teaching his family. By growing this beautiful fresh produce, he's actually then teaching his kids how to do that, and they will pass it on to their kids, which creates a beautiful, sustainable, living future for them. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go off, we're going to cook a beautiful salad featuring all these lovely vegetables from Ed's garden, when we're going to put it with a lovely salted and honey duck. Is I want to score that with a really sharp knife to cut that flesh across like that, see? And what that's going to do is it's going to allow all the salt and the oil to go in there and make that skin nice and crispy. Let's cut it across angle now. What I want to do to that is get a whole lot of salt, being salted duck, and get it into there. We really want to crack that in there. Get it right in. And you'll see it's going to start going into these little cracks there. Let's push it in. There's a bit of salt on the board. Let's get it all over the top. What we want to do now is we want to get a little drizzle of beautiful Aussie olive oil. Just a little bit. We don't want the olive oil to burn when it goes on the pan. We really want the skin to be rendering down. And the beautiful thing about the duck is, as we rub that in, because that skin there is so thick, it actually renders down a hell of a lot of fat really, really quickly. So, okay, next step. We've got a little fry pan on in there, it's nice and hot. I want to go skin side down. Let's get the other one in. So that's going to go for about 4 or 5 minutes. We're really going to judge it by look on that hot pan. You're going to start to see all this fat will render out from that skin there. Okay, empty jar, always fantastic. Some beautiful Aussie olive oil. We want to get about 2/3 olive oil to 1/3 of the acid. Okay, I reckon that's almost enough. Beautiful, lovely. We're going to put our acid in now. So, balsamic vinegar. In she goes. So we want to get about 1/3 of that to the olive oil. Lovely. And you can see that, that's not going to come together. It's always going to be separated. So what we have to do is actually emulsify that. So what I've got here is I've got a bit of honey, squeeze it in like that. That's going to bring it all together. Now, I want to tell you about this. We're in Australia, we're cooking some amazing Australian produce. I've got this herb. If you guys around the world can get hold of this herb, it is amazing. It's actually called lemon myrtle. It kind of smells and it tastes like lemongrass, lemon balm, and lemon all together. Let's throw a little bit in that, and we're going to garnish it later on as well. All right, now comes the good bit. We whack it in that jar, and now we just shake the living crap out of it. All right, and you can see there it's starting to come together, and that's exactly what we want to do. All right, and that in there has come together as the most amazing dressing you could ever have. It's time for our awesome Ed veggie salad. All right, I've got some beetroot leaves straight off, and in here I've got the rocket, I've got some coriander, I've got the tops of the carrots, all those lovely things in there which are going to give it nice flavour. All I literally want to do there is give it a rough rip. All the natural oils and the juices are going to come in there like that. Okay. You can actually eat the entire stem. However, I want to take that off, so we've just got that little bit, and we just want to get some nice red flavour in there. It's going to give a nice bit of beetroot juice. Look at that, beautiful. A big few chunks with those end of the leaves. Okay, straight into the bowl. Got this beautiful salad. You can see there it's got a lot of life. We want to go a little bit more Aussie. So what I've got here is these stunning Australian grown macadamia nuts. So these are actually native to Australia. If you get a chance to eat them, they're absolutely stunning. Whack them in a bicky with some white chocolate, they're great. Let's just get a handful. You can see how chunky and hard they are. That's going to give a nice bite and a nice crunch to the salad as we're going. Let's throw a bit of the fresh lemon myrtle in. There you go. Time to flip our duck. You can see in here all that beautiful fat that is rendered out of the skin. It's bubbling really nicely. That's been going for about 4 minutes. Let's just flip him over, and you can see in there that beautiful caramelization on the skin. Let's just take him off. What I want to do there to get our salted duck into honey duck is literally go over the top of the skin. That's going to go in between all the skin. It's going to go in with the salt. It's going to be savoury. It's going to be sweet. It's going to be stunning. Our duck's resting. This beautiful salad is ready to crack. Our dressing, let's give it another shake. We want to pour a little bit over the top. It's probably just enough to coat all those beautiful herbs and the rocket and the lovely macadamias. Let's toss him around there. You'll start to see it'll start to glisten up and be all beautiful. Look at that. A stunning salad which has come straight from the garden just up the hill. I'm going to try it just with that dressing. Oh, bang on. Awesome. Awesome. We want to do some nice slices. And what we'll see in there is the most beautiful soft and pink flesh. Okay, a little handful of this beautiful stunning salad. Let's whack him on here like that. Get a few sort of bits more macadamia nuts in there. Get him over there. A few bits of the beetroot. That's lovely. A couple bits here, a couple bits there. Some more lemon myrtle over the top. Sprinkle him all over there. Get a nice lot of flavour all around the board. And now our beautiful honey salted duck. Here we go. Simply there, just in front. A little bit of our dressing. Just to give it a bit of a kick on top of the duck with the honey. Lovely. And there you go, guys. That is the most simplest, beautiful honey salted duck and a lovely salad straight from Ed's garden.
So we've shot up the road about 20 minutes north of Bacchus Marsh. We're looking at an amazing sustainable fish population. What's amazing about the lakes around the Bacchus Marsh and Ballarat area is that we have these beautiful introduced species which are fully sustainable and that are regularly stocked. So that's really important when we're looking at our own sustainable food. We have beautiful rainbow trout, we've got brown trout, there's some English perch that float around. They can be a pest, but damn, they taste fine. So we're going to go out now, we're going to have a really good fish. We're going to see whether we can try our luck at catching an amazing brown or rainbow trout. So what's sustainability? Well, sustainability is effectively being able to grow your own food whilst also having a renewable source, and that's the whole point of it. So when we come to a beautiful natural lake like this, you come to a place like this, if you're lucky enough to catch a fish out of here, fantastic. If not, that's all right. There's always another day.
We've been fishing for a couple of hours, and fishing in such a beautiful place like this always makes me hungry. So let's go do some cooking. A really, really simple thing what we want to do. It's such an easy fish to look after and to cook. We want to put a little bit of oil just on top of each skin, just like that. Beautiful. Let's rub it into that skin. So we literally just want to flip that over, and that's just going to give that inside bit of flesh there a little bit of the lovely olive oil. We want to salt that. There we go. Salt the skin. Let's put a bit of cracked black pepper on there. Lovely. Right, time to cook this beautiful Atlantic salmon. We want to go skin side down. That's going to go nice and crispy. Ready? The skin will actually start to stick pretty quick. You just want to move him around a little bit. It's now time to feature these amazing vegetables. Now these are all baby heirloom vegetables. You can see in here I've got a range of beautiful gourmet tomatoes on the vine. I've got purple beetroots, I've got golden beetroots, candy beetroots, blueberries, baby turnips, frisee. I've got some beautiful radish, which was grown by my son. I literally just picked this morning. It's beautiful heirloom vegetables that are going to taste the best because they're very, very young. Okay, I just want to keep that fish moving. You'll be able to see under there, it's just starting to seal up. The best way to tell when a salmon like this Atlantic salmon is getting ready, you'll start to see that the white of the flesh will start to grow, and it's generally a great time then to flip him over. And you'll see that skin is nice and crispy. Now, before I go on any further, a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper, and at that stage, I'm going to turn that off. I don't want that to cook anymore. I'm going to take that off the heat. Let it rest on our board. Let's get our fish into the center. And we're literally going to then work the rest of our beautiful magic all around it. Beautiful rainbow vegetables. Let's start building this stuff. Okay, I've got some beautiful on the vine tomatoes. Let's put him across like that. We're going to literally be creating a rainbow on this plate. Some beautiful white radish. Let's cut that one. I love the leaves. Let's stick the leaves up like that. So he's growing from the plate. That's awesome. Throw some beets around. Put some whole. Let's throw another couple beets over this side. Under there. What else have we got here? Some more tomatoes. Put him over there. Look at this beautiful tomato here. The beautiful lines and the patterns on it. And look at that. The blood red colour. Stunning there. Got some little romas, baby romas. Let's cut romas there. Some beautiful yellow tomatoes. He can go here, he can go there. Let's cut him that way. So as you can see, what we're really trying to do is build up a beautiful texture and build up a colour as we move on. Okay, under here, I've got these beautiful Dutch carrots. I've pre-blanched all the root vegetables just so they're soft and al dente. Let's throw him in there like that. We'll throw a few more carrots around and build him up. So this is actually going to, whoops, carrot just fell between my legs. This is actually going to now build up all the colours and the flavours and the textures. Let's go a carrot there. Let's throw another one in here like that. Now, here's another really cool little thing. These are baby turnips. It's incredibly sweet. Let's throw a couple holes so we can just chew on them. Here's another beautiful pink radish. Okay. Let's take him off, let's put him on that side there. So we've got that nice sort of flavour. Okay, let's throw the third one there. I've got some more candy beetroots with that nice texture in there like that. Now, I've got this frise lettuce. It's nice, it's fluffy, it's kind of zingy. It's got a nice texture to it. It's just going to add this little element of greenery, and it's going to add a little element of finesse to it, which is what we really want to achieve with this beautiful salad. Let's throw some beautiful blueberries around. So you can literally see this is the most amazing thing you could imagine. Okay, some blueberries around. Okay, now we've reached that stage. Let's dress this beautiful salad. Let's make it really come to life. I've got this little product. Now this is actually an air-dried beetroot powder. You can actually use this in mayonnaises and all sorts of things, and you'll see the colour in that there. And when you smell it, it's got a really intense beetroot smell. So I'm just going to literally put a little bit on the leaves like that. A little bit of avocado oil. It's just got a really intense sort of nutty avocado flavour. A little bit around. And it's got a light green as well, which is great, and it gives that little bit of extra colour and depth. There we go. That is looking amazing. I want to throw a little bit of salt around on the veggies, just a little bit, just to crack it in. Give them a little bit of extra seasoning, just help their little natural flavours really pop out. Let's do the same with the pepper. A little crack of pepper, beautiful. Right, we've reached a really exciting time. There's one last product that I really want to garnish this with, and this is going to bring this extra life. I've got these beautiful Viola flowers. You can actually grow these at home, and they are completely 100% edible. So let's just do a sprinkle. And look at that, and that beautiful purple is literally lifting that natural colours of those stunning heirloom vegetables up. Here we go, a few over here, a few over there. And that there is the most amazing pan-fried Atlantic salmon, completely sustainable, beautiful heirloom vegetables straight from the garden, and lovely Viola, amazing. Let's get into that. So we've shot up to Riddles Creek, which is about 45 minutes northwest of Bacchus Marsh. We've come up to visit Michael, who's a mate of ours, who's got this beautiful 140 acres up here. He grows his own sustainable livestock. So he's got beef, he's got sheep, he's got pig, you name it. He's got beautiful lambs jumping around. It's going to be really cool. We're going to cook up an awesome meal, and we're going to see how a family runs a farm sustainably and ethically. So these beautiful black Angus that Michael has here, he's got about 60 head. Now these cattle are bred specifically for their meat. It's got a really rich, pungent flavour, and it's probably the most popular meat that you see on Australian restaurants and what you get in supermarkets and markets as you grow all around the country. So these beautiful sheep here, that's actually a Pole Dawson sheep. So these are, again, bred specifically for their meat production. And they're a beautiful, beautiful animal. Their wool will also get taken off, obviously, and he'll send that off to market. But these beautiful sheep here are pretty much the main breed that goes through most supermarkets right throughout the whole country, and they're a really delicious breed. So I've popped down here with the girls. This over here, this is Hank. G'day Hank, how you going? Hank's a beautiful Pole Dawson sheep, and I've always had the dream to interview a sheep on television. What have you got to say about sustainability? I think the bread's more interesting, but that's cool. Also over here we've got our beautiful goats. Now, these are actually Boar Goats, and they're actually a South African breed. And again, you can see they've got their horns and that woolly sort of fur on them. They're actually, again, bred specifically for meat production. So this is Stephanie, she's a beautiful Salami Pig. you could say. She's 5 years old.
Yep.
Now, the interesting story about this little girl is that that she was just about to be turned into bacon, and Michael's daughter actually went, no. So she's actually come to a really good place. She's got to have a beautiful life on this pasture. Things we do for television. Hey guys, awesome settings to this beautiful recipe of a 2-hop stew. You're probably thinking, what's a 2-hop stew? Well, it's really quite simple. We've got this beautiful rabbit, which Michael's actually shot off his property here, which is a pest within Australia. We're gonna throw in some beautiful homemade beer, which is our second hop. There's our 2-hop. So the beautiful thing about this awesome 2-hop stew is that we're gonna actually be cooking on coals. So we're gonna get that beautiful smell coming through. So first of all, just wanna get those big babies out now. She's really red hot. You can see these beautiful red coals in there. Let's move them off the main flame. Let's get them down there so they're nice, right? Big beautiful crock pot. She's full, cast iron, really, really tough. Straight on the coals like that. All right. Beautiful olive oil. Let's get him in. I've got onion, I've got homemade salami, some garlic shoots and some chili. All right. Now oil's getting nice and hot. Homemade salami. This is straight from Michael's family. Beautiful. Let's whack him in there like that. We want to crackle him in. We've got these garden shoots that we picked from his garden just a minute ago. Throw them in whole. A little bit of dried chili flakes. In we go. Fresh rosemary, again straight from my garden. Let's pull him off like that. Straight in the pot again. Just in here, in this little jar of goodness, I've got this amazing Panch spice mix, which I actually made up at home. Have a smell of that. Oh, it's fantastic. It's got fennel, it's got nigella, lots of beautiful stuff in there, coriander, cumin. Let's put a good sprinkle straight in the pot. In she goes. Now that's already roasted, so that's gonna bring out this intense flavor that's gonna go bang, 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 straight into when we put the rabbit. Beautiful lemon. I just want to take the peel off. I want that pith. It has a little bit of bitterness in it. And I want all that beautiful citrine that's in the skin. All right, beautiful like that. Just that. I want to throw that straight into the stew. In she goes, all around. The lemon, I'm going to break it in half. Ready? I'm going to squeeze the juice. In she goes. Beautiful. That's going to give a real zing to it. So she's time for our beautiful rabbit. As I said, Michael shot this from his own property down here, which is a real pest within Australia. They were introduced back in the late 1800s, and they have just ravaged the land down here. So when we get a wild caught rabbit like this, the taste is going to be fantastic, but we know that it's healthy because the land here is so healthy. So we're going to throw that straight into our crock pot. All right. And under there, it's really, really coming together now. The smell of the salami, the onions, the lemon, and all those beautiful fresh herbs is just amazing. Let's throw our little bouncer in. Get in there, bouncer. I just want to keep stirring that round, and I really want to seal that flesh in, because that's our secret. So let's get him onto the hot coals, and I can tell you, working down here, it is bloody hot. All right. The smell, wow! A little bit of rock salt. That's our seasoning. That's all we need. It's time for our second hop in the stew. This is a beautiful home brew that I've brewed myself. It's actually an English porter, which I've brewed with half brown sugar, half white sugar, and I've put about 500 grams of vanilla beans into it. It is absolutely magical. That is going to be our liquid to our stew. Here we go. Oh. Instantly, the smell of the hops starts to really jump around. So we've got the 2 hops jumping around in the pot. All right, it's going to start bubbling, because it's going to start deglazing the pan, and all that lovely flavour that the rabbit and the onions and everything are just going to start billowing out. It smells amazing. All right, let's get that in there. Oh, look at that. Let's get that all in. So all that flavour is all around the rabbit. All right, throw the lid on it. Some of these coals. And I want to bring them up close, right around the pot. And what that's going to do is it's going to act like an oven. Let's get him straight off. Oh, he's heavy. Heavy and he's hot. All right, here we go. The big reveal. 2 hop stew, go. Oh, beautiful. And you can see that beer, you can see that line around in here, and that beer has actually reduced. It's magical. Okay, it's time to serve. Let's go. We want to get this beautiful leg. Yum. Let's get him straight across onto there. Put him on there. And now, it's systematically, we'll just get little bits of our rabbit and all our lovely bits that are underneath, and we'll put them on top. We've got our lemon. There's a little bit of our yummy, beautiful hot salami. That's all down the bottom there. Look at that, a little bit on there. Oh, this is amazing. The flavour is just coming out in the steam. It is magical. Fresh parsley straight from Michael's garden. Let's just put a bit around so it just sort of highlights the rabbit. That's all we want it to do. Because really the hero of this dish is that rabbit and that flavour that's in there. The parsley is literally just an accompaniment. So I've got this lemon that I picked from his tree earlier. All right, let's cut him. Let's cut him in a nice angle like that. Look at that, lovely angle. We'll leave the leaf on, we'll put him to the side. Bit more of our beautiful, homemade panch. Okay, here we go. Just over the top. It's gonna pull that flavour which is in the jus straight back onto the meat. Look at that, that is looking magical. We're gonna put a little drizzle of olive oil just on top, just to get that glisten and the flavour. And that there, ladies and gents, is the most amazing, the most beautiful 2-hop stew straight from the land that we're cooking on.